We're going to focus on the Flyte Sandbox demo. That's a sandbox, that's a hosted sandbox. I'm just going to hand over to Niels. Niels, please introduce yourself and let us know what's new about Flyte Sandbox.
Thank you, Martin. Hi, everyone. I'm Niels Bantilan. Yeah, I'm super excited to show this little thing that we built recently. So this was, credit to Andrew, Karina, Eugene, a bunch of people that I probably missed. Like, I basically made the kind of like the storefront like content for this, but there's so much other work that went in the back end that I'm not actually aware of. So yeah, thank you to all the folks who made this experience possible. I'm excited because this is something I've wanted for a while. Like pretty much since I joined the team, I sort of like was mentioning something like this, like just like a browser-based experience where you can, zero install experience with Flyte. And obviously we're working on, we're burning both ends of the candle. We're making it easy to install it locally, but then, on this other end, there's just kind of like this experience to not have to install your cluster and pip install FlyteKit and all that stuff. So basically what I'm showing you right here is if I just switch over to like an incognito browser, if you go to sandbox.union.ai, it'll take you to this page. I think you'll have to log in first actually. And clicking the Start Sandbox button will basically take you to this VS Code in-browser experience. And we've created a little walkthrough for you here. So, maybe just to take a step back, the key problem we're trying to solve here is for folks who have not interacted with Flyte at all or don't know much about it. That's kind of the primary audience we're trying to serve here. Obviously, if you've used Flyte before and you want to like noodle around with it a little bit, this will also still be useful. But the step-by-step walkthrough takes you through, this very simple plain Python workflow. Nothing in Flyte about this. And kind of like as you step through it, we take you through what it takes to convert that Python workflow into a Flyte one by adding these tasks and workflow decorators. You'll learn how to use PyFlyte run, the CLI command line interface for interacting with Flyte. So as a major caveat, this like walkthrough experience is optimized for the PyFlyte run mode of running Flyte workflows, which basically means that you're working with single scripts, like isolated scripts. So just to take you through a tour of how this is, I can even open this up on a little browser, right? So it's not ideal, but it's kind of cool to just see this IDE where you can code in Python scripts. You can open it up in a browser. Here, I'll just open it up here so you can see, things are working, your Flyte workflows are running. We have an example here of interacting with the Flyte cluster in a Jupyter notebook. So here I'm initializing a Flyte remote object, and let me just take the execution name from here. And this gives you a nice interface for, so this execution isn't completed yet. So let me just grab a completed execution. You can grab model artifacts from Flyte workflow outputs. You can grab intermediary data. So here I'm using Flyte Remote to grab the raw and processed data that's part of the pipeline that is currently running. And this is just Python, right? So I can just make visualizations, kind of debug and see what's going on in here. The workflow also takes you through how to iterate through it. So once you're happy with a kind of working Flyte workflow, you can add the additional bells and whistles that we all know and love in Flyte, like caching, retries, just simply refactoring your code with additional parameters. And then finally, an example to parallelize your workflows with map tasks. So again, all of this is running with PyFlyte run in a isolated sandbox that Union AI spins up for you, handles for you, so you don't have to do anything yourself, really. And you know, there are a lot of things that we can iterate on here. I don't want to make any promises, but for example, Docker is not like building your own Docker images and all of that. Like registering workflows with a larger project is, you know, currently not supported on this environment, but you know, stay tuned. And yeah, I'm excited to see what we'll build off of this.
That's awesome. Fantastic. So obviously that's a sandbox, not a production environment. What are the other limitations of the sandbox?
I don't know what the exact parameters are, but you know, it's not GPU enabled. You'll only be able to use, you know, I think 2 or 4 CPUs on it. So just to be aware if you're noodling around in there. Also, you know, as a user, we can't enforce like the kind of data you use in there, but you really shouldn't be using kind of proprietary or sensitive data in the sandbox.
Fantastic. Great. I mean, I love that concept. It's so easy to get started now. So fantastic. Niels, thank you so much. If there are any more questions about this, I got to speed up a little bit because we're running towards the top of the hour. If there are more questions, we can take them offline as well. On the Slack channel, is there a specific area on Slack where we can talk about the sandbox, the new sandbox, or should we just more a general section or should we have a sandbox section on Slack?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I think general would be fine if there's demand for a dedicated channel. I think we can spin it up real quick.
Cool. Let's do that. Awesome. Niels, thank you so much.